Hello, hello.
Hi, teacher.
Hey, Teen. Uh, 1 second, everybody. Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. I'm we're on retreat, finishing up course 18. Thank you so much. So we are on class 3 of ACI course 18, the last review course and last ACI course. And so we're on question 1. We have a studio audience today, everybody. You want to see the audience? Everyone wave, say hi. Okay, there's audience. And we have a lovely background here. There's like pools and stuff. It's awesome. I'll never get in them probably. Okay. Um, so question 1, you all can answer too if you want. Those of you who are not familiar with ACI, just absorb the knowledge. Okay? Ready? Oh no, it's not good. Hmm. Well, okay. It's fine. Yeah. Well, it's just gonna move more later. Okay, that's good. Thank you. Okay, question 1. Ooh, Mark Hoffman, you can do this one. Explain why good and bad deeds are like an illusion, yet still function perfectly well. Mike Hoffman, what do you think?
Bad deeds like but still function. Um, because they're only good and bad deeds only really exist as a projection of your own mind,
I mean,
but they still function because it is a projection of your mind, so they work.
yes, things have no inherent nature, but it is your good and bad deeds that give them the nature of being good or bad. Yay! Uh, the answer here says they work just as well as we thought they did before we found out they were illusory. They are like an illusion because the person doing them, the deed itself, and the object of the deed all exist only in our projections. They function perfectly well enough to produce the bodies of a Buddha, okay? Or statues of a Buddha. Huh? Of a Buddha or anything else actually. That's all that means. Okay, we have some newbies here, so I'll try to go slow. Okay, this is the last course of 18 courses. Usually takes like 7 years to do. I did them in 7 months for fun. Okay, question 2. I feel like somebody in our Zoom audience wants to read it. Like, uh, Daria. You want to read, Daria?
Good morning. Yeah.
Morning. Go
Name
ahead.
the two forms in which a person can possess a mental affliction. Tibetan, track in Tibetan.
Okay, yeah. Name 2 ways people's minds can be like upset. Um, Daria, what do you think?
Well, I think this.
Anybody? Now, so this is not two examples of mental afflictions. This is 2 ways you can have them. I think it's meaning you can have it obvious, like right now your mind is upset or something. Or you can have it deep in your mind, like waiting to be triggered, right? So it's just like triggers. Like you can be like la la la, and then someone can say the wrong thing to you and you can get upset. So was it in your mind? It had to have been there somewhere, right? Like deep. Okay. All right, let's look at the answer. Look, I'm right. Daria, read this.
They can be manifest or else they can exist as a potential waiting to happen.
Yeah, they can exist obvious or they can exist deep down. waiting to be triggered because of what your mom did to you or something. This is Nyungurwa in Tibetan. It means obvious. And Bakla Nyelwa means like asleep as a potential. Okay, question 3. This is the secret of the whole universe, if you wanted to know it. Maria, you come read here. No, the other one. You relax with your baby. Her baby's running around somewhere. Okay, Maria's gonna read.
Hi, everyone. Relate the six-step process described by Maitreya, which links the failure to perceive emptiness to the suffering we must go through.
Do you know the Maitreya 6?
No, I don't.
Mike does.
Mike knows everything.
Yeah. So we'll say it louder. So relate the 6 steps, the 6-step process described by Maitreya, who's a bodhisattva, which links the failure to perceive emptiness, like how things really are, to the suffering we must go through our problems in life. There's 6 steps. Do you remember them, Mike? We did them like last month.
If you have the inherent tendency to see things as self-existent,
Yeah, what does that mean for our newbies?
it means that you look at the world and you think that it's coming at you instead of from you.
Yes, exactly. Next.
Next, you
Actually, come up here, Mike, too, because they can't hear you. And Hong Sun really wants to know what you're saying.
Hi, Hong Son.
What was the first one, Mike?
You're you're born with the tendency to see things as self-existent,
Uh-huh.
and then you start to see things as self-existent based on that tendency.
Right, which means you see things like grass is over here. It has nothing to do with me. Right?
Based on my past karma.
Exactly.
And then you start to like and dislike things based on your like distinctions.
Grass is annoying. It has nothing to do with me.
Right.
It's just annoying.
I love grass.
I love grass.
I love grass.
I love smoking it.
And then based on your liking or disliking, you then start defining things as good or bad.
Yep.
And then you start doing things to either keep the things that you like or to push away the things that you don't like.
Yep.
And then that causes the entire process to start over.
Yep.
And
That
just keep
it creates a cycle of pain.
Yeah.
Yay! And anybody who wants these documents, I can send them to you if you're, taking notes or something and it's going too fast or anything. Thanks, Mike Hoffman. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, just time issue. If we slow down, we can slow down, but then it could be ACI retreat, which Tim will love. Okay. A, one possesses the mental potentials for the 2 forms of grasping to self-existence from one's former life. So the idea there is that you come into your present life with in your heart, you believe things are just outside. And then you deep down you believe that as well as intellectually. Like obviously phones are over here, right? The Tibetan is Dangzin Niki Bakchak Yi. And then these come to fruition and cause you to have 2 kinds of grasping to self-existence. Okay? Those 2 kinds, either deep down or like if you were going to have a discussion about science or something, you'd be like, the objects outside of me. This is Dangzin Nike. Then these cause you to focus on nice things and ugly things as if they existed from their own side, meaning outside of you, not connected to your projections. What's going on inside of you? Okay. Rang Như Ne Dru Pe Yi Yong Wa Tang Yi Myung Tu sorry, it's cut off. Tsul Min uh Yi Che Ke. Okay. This causes ignorant liking and ignorant disliking to start, meaning things are annoying or things seem awesome, okay? With no connection to how you treated other people in the past, which is karma, okay? Du chak dang she dang ke. These cause you to do bad things and collect karma. So then when something good happens to you, you think, oh, that's great, I deserve it. When something bad happens to you, you think, oh, that's stupid, get away. And you try to push it away through some kind of um, means that creates more bad things. All right? They suck. And that all those actions force you to continuously have the problem over and over again. And the cycle just keeps happening to you over and over again. Kor, kor. And this is Lesak. Okay. Number 4. I know someone else wants to read besides me. Kashinya looks very uncomfortable. Come. Are you having fun? She's like, not anymore. Read this.
How does Master Shantideva answer the question, the concern that meditating upon emptiness might feel a little scary?
We were just talking about this at the retreat. Thank you. Okay, so this is about seeing, we say the true nature of things, right? Which is that they have no nature. So people get freaked out. They're like, oh my God, that's like seeing, I don't know what will happen to me, right? So what does Master Shantideva say? Does anybody know? Tin, what does he say?
Oh, I don't know.
Come on. Nobody knows? Yeah, but why does he say if you think it's scary to meditate and see how things really are is scary, what does Master Shantideva say? He probably says it's not as scary as all the horrible problems you're gonna have if you don't see it. Yeah, yeah. He says he points out that the tendency to see things as self-existent coming from themselves is the cause of all the problems in the world. So if we're going to be frightened, we should be frightened at that. The wisdom that which comes from realizing how things are empty, on the other hand, is the cause of ending all the problems in the world, and thus all the fear in the world. And so we should definitely meditate on that. Okay? Meaning, even if it's a little scary, it's the antidote to all your problems. And you should go for it. Here's a Tibetan. Den par zin pa duk nyal keche, tongi tok pa duk nyal shije. All right. Hope it's not too fast for the newbies. Number 5. Panitova, you want to read it?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Name and define the two forms of the tendency to grasp things as existing in truth. Tibetan track in Tibetan.
So sorry, the Zoom dropped. The internet here is, let me reshare the document. So there's two ways we can do that. And I basically mentioned them already. We can do it like just in our mind, like how we think of things, but then super deep down we can do it. Meaning even if, where's Elise? Is she here? No. Okay, cool. There's like, we talk about like trauma in the womb, stuff like that. So even before you're completely able to like cognize, sorry, the Zoom's dropping. Anyway, that's because deep down we feel like things are real outside of us. Okay, my mom's real, my parents are real, this womb I'm in is real, and then therefore it impacts us in specific ways. Make sense? Okay, so those are two ways. Here it says it right here. The learned way, the tendency to grasp the things as existing in truth, to believe that things have their own nature, which depends primarily upon the mind being affected by specific beliefs. Okay, like you heard it in school, that's what my parents said, right? Excuse me, the Tibetan Sora Jupte Logyor La Tu Gyupe Denzin Kuntak. And then it's innate, like deep in your mind, bless you. Like the reason your heart moves and stuff like that. Like you don't have to think about it because it's happening deep down. The innate form of the tendency to believe that things have their own nature, which has existed in our minds from beginning this time, and which is possessed by all normal living beings, both those whose minds have been or have not been affected by specific philosophical beliefs. Meaning, an ant doesn't, if you go to step on an ant, it's going to run away, right? Because it has an innate belief that you're going to do harm to it because something outside of it is going to crush it. But it didn't have to go to school for that. Maybe there's an ant school. I don't know about. Talk my mepa ne Jesus. I'm glad someone left at my joke. Shukpa jupte logyur makyur nikala yupe denzin lenke. All right, we're gonna push on here. Number 6. Olga, you want to come read? I know you do. Because you want the seeds to finish your ACI courses, don't you? Seeds. Olga's gonna read.
The innate form of
No, here. Sorry.
sorry. 6. At what point does a person on the Mahayana track eliminate each of these two?
Do you know?
I think that when you perceive emptiness directly.
Which one? Intellectual or innate?
No. I was in Mahayana definitely with bodhicitta.
Yeah, bodhicitta is implicit, but
Yes.
What happens when you see emptiness?
No, I think
You're right.
not yeah.
Intellectual.
Yeah.
Intellectual when you see emptiness.
I think once you see emptiness, otherwise you just think it, but you cannot see it.
Exactly. So the first one's intellectual on if you see emptiness. And then when do you get rid of the innate? Do you know?
Well, after you see emptiness directly, you don't believe these things anymore. But
That's
you still-
intellectual.
Yeah, and then
Innate, do you remember?
no, I don't remember.
It's like the 9th bodhisattva level or something.
Oh, okay, but
Well,
like 9 boobing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we got it. It's right before you become a Buddha. Okay, so the innate, when you first, I don't know, I akin it to like realizing that you're like one of your parents is an alcoholic or something, or that your boyfriend's been cheating on you for like a few years, because you're like, oh, that explains the text messages. That explains the late nights. Do you understand? So when you see things like as they really are, like that they have no nature, you have certain realizations. You're like, oh, that explains why people have all these problems because they think everything's coming this way, but really it's coming this way from them. So therefore, you can no longer believe intellectually that that things are coming this way. And like if you catch the boyfriend cheating on you, right? You know, if he starts to lie again, you're like, dude, I saw it. What are you talking about? And he's like, oh, okay, sorry, I'm moving out. Get it? But then you have to keep meditating more and more to get rid of that innate belief, that deep down belief. And it happens very close to enlightenment. The learned form is eliminated during the path of seeing. That is, although one still sees things as coming from their own side, after coming down from the direct perception, one can no longer believe that they are because you saw it. One knows that one is not seeing things correctly. And during the eighth bodhisattva level, one eliminates the manifest form of the innate form. Okay, and that's when you hear about these stories about yogis being able to do all these miracles and stuff because like the thing that's stopping them uh, um, from reality, from being so concrete, it starts to dissolve. Okay, Tonglam and Sagyepa. All right, number 7. How many questions are there? Ooh, I don't know about this schedule. Okay, number 7. Somebody here wants to read Terror.
Yes, and thank you for ghosting yesterday.
You're welcome. Read this.
Can I don't see the question on the screen.
You don't?
And now I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Name 3 wrong ideas that we might have about ourselves that are classified as learned tendencies to see things as truly existing.
Okay, just read it. Go ahead.
Okay,
You guys hear? No?
the tendency to see the person
One
and his
second,
or
1 second, Theodore.
yeah.
Um, okay, say something, Theodore.
3 wrong ideas.
Oh, wait, hold on. All right, say something now, Theodore.
3 wrong ideas.
Okay. It's exciting.
That's good.
Yeah, put in. Okay, ready?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead,
So
Theodore.
the first wrong idea, the tendency to see the person and his parts as being like a master and his servants. This would correspond to the idea of a soul or a me, quote unquote, which is totally distinct from the parts of the person. Shall I read in Tibetan?
Page 521. 521. It's in the chat. It's okay. All right. Yeah? Okay, try again, Theodore.
Can you hear me now?
Yay. We can.
Okay, again. So the first wrong idea, the tendency to see the person and his parts as being like a master and his servants. This would correspond to the idea of a soul or a me, quote unquote, which is totally distinct from the parts of the person. Shall I read
Yeah.
Tibetan?
No, I'll do it. Thanks so much. 강삭 당 풍포 제wo 당 꿀보 신두진pa. Yeah. So this is a common belief, right? Like there's like a person inside your head that's controlling you or something like that. All right? But the problem with this is it doesn't explain your inability to do things. So like if you try to like if you want to really change your life and you're like, okay, I don't want to, I don't know, I want to stop smoking or something like that, right? And you try to force yourself to or use willpower, and then you can't. And then people start to get confused, like, oh, why can't I stop? Why can't I change? And it's because you need to change the habits that are behind it. You can't just force yourself to do it with like the voice in your head. Okay? So, which if you change the habits behind it, you can easily change. All right? Okay. Um Actually we'll just change without you having to do anything else. It's weird, right? Or it seems weird. Read this one, Theodore.
The tendency to hold that our ultimate reality lies in objectively real, partless atoms. This would correspond to the materialist view of modern science, or explaining the fine points of perception as being chemically based.
Yeah. So this counts a lot of science, okay? And and it's and there's faults to science, right? If you There's many things science can do, but there's really specific limitations. I mean, one of the things is keeping people alive. You know, science is wonderful and has been able to do many things, but they still don't have actually a real understanding of why we're alive. Okay. So what is actually the foundation of life itself? And they'll point to atoms as and chemicals as what is, but that's what is occurring. That's not why it's occurring. So which gets very problematic, right? And so it and there's all these reasonings, but basically it could never be the reason that we're alive or continue to be alive that's based on chemicals. Because even though when those chemicals are present, we still might not experience life, right? Like like a second after you die, aren't all the chemicals there that they were or were a second prior to that? and there's other reasonings too. But that's the basic idea. Dulchen chame dutsinpa. All right, read this one, Theodore.
The tendency to hold that our ultimate reality lies in moments of consciousness which are objectively real and partless. This would correspond to our sense of a self beyond our parts.
Yeah. So this is the idea that because we have like awareness itself, that somehow that makes us alive or makes us real. Okay. And it can really feel like that, right? Like I'm conscious, so that's real. But it's also problematic because if consciousness was the only reason that you were real, then or the reason things were the way they were, then you exclusively being conscious of something or things would give you the ability to change things however you wanted. And it doesn't, right? You can be aware of something and still not be able to change it. True? Okay, that's true. Shepa, Keichik Chame Dutsenpa. Okay. All right, thanks, Theodore. Yay! Uh, Chio, you want to come read something? All right, read this loud.
That one.
Uh-huh.
No Buddhist school agrees that okay. No Buddhist school agrees that there is a person which is distinct from the physical and mental parts of a person, but the middle way says that we are further neither any single one of our parts, nor the whole of the parts. It's easy to see that we are not any one of our parts, such as an arm or a leg. But why is it the case that we are not the sum of all our various parts?
Good. Thank you. Yeah. 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 Exactly. So, okay. I'll talk to Angela. Angela, am I my finger? Right. If I didn't have this finger, would I still be me? Okay. So that we could just say that's true for any single part, right? Okay, so that's easy. Um, but why, what about all my parts, including my mind? If you took away all those parts, would there be any me left? There would be. Okay, we agree. So yeah, we say the same. We say even if you took all the parts you think are you, if you took them away, there could still be a you because we could say you-ness, that's not a real word, but the thing that makes you you actually comes from your perception of you, right? Because everyone can have a different perception of themselves, right? One person's like, oh, that person's so hot. The other person's like, no, they're ugly. I don't like that person, right? So the perception itself has to come from the individual. So regardless of the parts, the thing that in the end makes a person or a thing is the fact that it's being perceived by a person. It's it's the perception of the perceiver that makes the thing a thing. Okay. Woo, which is very important when it comes to doing all the work we're going to do here, because regardless of what other people think of you or how you're doing, if you don't think you're successful, if you don't think you're beautiful or what have you, then it doesn't matter, right? And so how do we change that? And we change that through, again, our habits, our actions, how we think, etc. Okay. Um, the total sum of all the parts of a person is not the person until the image of the whole has been imposed upon these parts by the projections forced on us by the things we've done in the past, like what we've done to create our world. All right. All right. All right, number 9. Hong Son, do you want to read? Okay,
Uh,
read slow and clear. We
why
have an audience.
does the non-Buddhist opponent in the ninth chapter say that the person must be unchanging?
Yeah, yeah, this is hard. So in these books, they have debates. They just have, it's like I say FAQs, frequently asked questions. Because you can't just present this stuff. You have to address people's objections because much of it seems to go against common sense or something like that. But um, what's problematic is if common sense worked, people wouldn't have the problems they did. Because the way people usually think often is the reason they have the problems that they have, or maybe always, right? Okay. So basically someone comes along and has a problem. Um, he says people must have like a soul. There has to be some kind of soul in people, some kind of part of people that's always one way. All right. That never changes. Okay. And the objection, we say that if a person is something that begins and ends in an individual instance, right? Then the person who did the thing, right, which created um the next thing, right? Meaning if I plant a seed in the ground, if that seed is changing, then how can the seed I planted be the cause of the watermelon that I ate a few months later? Does it make sense? Okay. Um, and so therefore, if I do something, like if I have a habit, say I have a habit of thinking, this is a common one, I'm not good enough or something, and then that creates your inability to have the partner you want, make the money you want, etc. Um, but who's the person who experiences that later? If I'm me and I'm constantly changing, right? So when I do that thing, who's the person who gets the result? Right. But if it's a future me, so this is the argument, right? If it's a future you, that's even once you say future, then who's the past you and how are they connected? And then you start talking about what's you, and that's the argument, right? Okay. Because they say, oh, it has to be unchanging for it to be the future you and the present you to be the same you. Because if it was changing, then the past you couldn't be the future you. Yep. And it's the same argument. Yep. Yep. You're totally right. And we do argue about time. That was last class. Okay. Cool. All right, number 10. Panitova, do you want to read? Are you there?
Yes,
All
give
right,
three
read. Go ahead.
give three parts of the answer that Master Shantideva say in reply to this position.
Okay, so these are the answers to the argument that we're having with ourselves. Read this, Anastasia.
He says that both the non-Buddhist and the Buddhist agree that the person who committed the deed is not the same as the person who experiences its karmic consequence. So the argument is meaningless.
Yeah, meaning the person's not the same either way. Okay, read this Tibetan.
Leche pei dutan drepu nyonwei duki kansak deptade.
Yeah, good. All right, second.
He points out that the only other choice is that the cause the deed and the result, the karmic consequence, will have to exist at the same time, which is impossible.
Yeah, and this is the time thing. Okay, read this.
You too, su, debu nyonmi si.
Yeah. Okay.
Si.
Go ahead, read this.
He says that it is perfectly appropriate to refer to the continuous stream of the one who performs the karma and the one who experiences its consequence as one person.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically he says, basically what Angela is saying, like, you can still think of it as one person, even though it's a changing thing, right? Because there's something that actually connects a person together like a stream, just like a river or mm, mm, yeah, I think river's the best example. Yes, Lucia?
We think that as a person that has a mind.
Yeah, like your mind stream. Exactly. Yeah, the mind is connected.
Is the one is the same.
Yes, it's the same mind. Yeah. Read this, Pani Tova.
Byuchi kla le chepapo tan rebu chopapo tenrun.
Yes, thank you. Okay, here is the question. Thank you, Anastasia. Number 11. Mike Hoffman, you want to come read? You can take your hoodie off to do it.
What then is the real nature of the me?
Yeah. Yeah. So anybody, what do you think? What is the real you? Everything? Your grass? Does this hurt? Yeah, the real nature of me. What's that? What does that mean, Maria?
Your experience of you is based on your actions.
And
Everyone else whose experience of you is based on their
okay, I like it. Do you have a book I can read about that? Uh, yeah, it is an idea, an image or concept that is put on a collection of parts, like uh new hat, t-shirt, nice hands, like that. Chashe kitsopala tene tane taksam. Okay? Meaning, uh, we are ideas, or you could say images, that come